Welcome back, it's me Lou, and I'm here for another action figure review. Today we are hopping into the time machine as we travel back some years ago, and we're taking a look at the Black Series Jabba the Hutt. So this is the standard retail version of the action figure. For those of you who remember, I believe it was maybe the 2014 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Jabba. That one was different than the retail one. That one featured more accessories. The box on that was amazing. The box would unfold, and it would actually also be kind of like, it would double as a display, and it featured Jabba on the actual dais. And the Comic-Con exclusive also included Salacious Crumb and Jabba the Hutt's hookah accessory. Unfortunately, the retail release was very, very bare minimum. All you got was this Jabba. You didn't get Salacious Crumb, you didn't get the hookah, and his box was just a giant box with a giant window. It didn't serve any extra purpose. Unfortunately, it wasn't a display piece like the exclusive box. But the figure itself here is beautiful. It's kind of showing its age a little bit. I really wish they would update the figure and re-release them. But if you're fortunate enough to have this figure, it's a wonderful piece to your collection, especially now with Hasbro recently releasing the Bib Fortuna Black Series figure. So yeah, what we have here is Jabba the Hutt from the Black Series line. The sculpting on this guy is superb. It really, really captures the essence of the character. And just look at it, all the folds and wrinkles. He even has his tattoo on his forearm. They did an outstanding job on this giant action figure. It's Jabba the Hutt, so in terms of articulation, this guy is not going to do a whole lot. He has a cut, right below his chest, so that allows this to swivel. His arms are articulated, and now it's crazy when you move them. It also like articulates his jawline, so you can pretend he's talking. So that looks really fun. It does that with both arms. But if you wanted to reposition the arms, it makes this terrifying clicking noise, and it feels like it's gonna break. Yeah. So for me, I try not to move the arms as much as possible because I don't know if that's doing any damage to the figure. And he has elbow articulation, like right there, and his wrists rotate. So that's the extent of his articulation. His tail doesn't do anything. It's just a giant hollow piece of plastic. But yeah, fantastic looking figure. The prices on the secondary market for this guy, they're kind of a bit on the pricier side. If you want to get the San Diego exclusive, that goes for a lot of money. The most I've seen it go for, I think, is maybe like, for the San Diego ones, like maybe like $400, which is ridiculous. I don't think anyone's going to pay that much for it. One of the local collectible toy shops in my area has a mint in box standard retail one going for $80. Which I think is somewhat reasonable considering the age of the figure and its availability. But I'm kind of hoping that in due time, hopefully soon, Hasbro will not only re-release this figure, but maybe update it a little also. Like, I would love it if they could provide some sort of like articulation for his eyes. Like, I love how his mouth moves. But one of the things that kind of worries me about this figure is that to allow the mouth to move like that, this is a very, very thin rubber plastic. And I'm kind of worried that, over a long period of time, this might start to degrade and like dry rot and possibly crack. But, only time will tell. So yeah, awesome figure. And since we're on the subject of Jabba, let's bring out some other Jabba figures. We have like a small Jabba family going on here. So I remember this Jabba here was from the Phantom Menace. This is a much smaller Jabba figure aimed at the 3 3/4 figures. So with the original Phantom Menace line, I think there were two different Jabbas. There was this Jabba, which you'd open up his belly, and then you could like fill him up with like slime or something, and then the slime would come out of his mouth because there's this very soft, rubbery plastic. But then there was another Jabba figure where his mouth, it was kind of like pre-posed in this weird position, and then you could take the frog and put it in his mouth, and I think you could like press a button or something or squeeze him and the frog would shoot out. I remember when this figure came out, I got this during one of the Toys R Us midnight sales, like in anticipation of the new movie, and I was so excited for it because it looked, for me at the time, it looked like light years better than the original Jabba that I had as a child growing up. But over time, it didn't age very well. I still love this figure a lot, but then, many years later, we got this guy here, and this is an amazing looking Jabba. This one came out around the time of the Clone Wars cartoon. It was a Walmart exclusive. It was packaged in the blue box with like Captain Rex in the corner. This was like the Jabba to end all Jabbas. He came with the dais. He came with the hookah. He came with pillows for the dais. He came with Ula and even Salacious Crumb. So this was not only an action figure, it was almost like a full-on play set. And I remember that being like ridiculously hard to find. I found it at a Walmart on my way to work, and someone hid it like in the doll section. And I was just happened to be walking through, and I stumbled upon it, and I'm like, oh my god! And I bought it. The one downside with this figure, though, is that over time, this rubbery plastic, it's very soft. It started to melt. Now, if you're familiar with some of the older like Toy Biz Marvel superhero action figures, especially figures that have like the long like jackets and capes, that kind of material is prone to degrading over long periods of time, and they actually start to melt. That was the case with this guy. Like, I had this guy stored in a plastic bin for like a couple of years, and then a few years ago I went to go dig him out, and he was like sticking to the bottom of like the plastic bin because apparently he started to melt, and you can actually see the markings right there. So I'm not sure if it was the plastic or if it was some sort of like combination of the paint and the plastic, but for whatever reason he started to melt, and then I had to figure out a way to like prevent him from melting. So what I did, it probably wasn't the smartest thing, but I took a gamble on it because it was something that I did before. I submerged him in like not the entire figure, but just the lower part of him that was melting. I submerged that in like rubbing alcohol, and because my theory was that the rubbing alcohol would like force whatever chemicals were inside to like be pulled out and eventually be evaporated. And it seemed to work because it's been a couple of years and this guy is no longer melting. It feels like just as soft and spongy as he was on the first day I got him. So yeah, this is like one of my favorite Jabba figures. It's awesome. Like I said, we have like a small Jabba family going on over here. Lots of Jabba figures. So yeah, this looks like this. Looking at this group right now, it looks like it could be like a sitcom or something. The Jabba family, only on Disney Plus. All right, so let's wrap this video up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I will see you at the next one. All right, so goodbye, Jabba. Bye-bye.